All is not what it seems when it comes to the strangers arriving by small boat on the British shoreline, coming from only God knows where. Throwing their documents away and identity, they could be anybody, like the guy who was wanted for murder in his own country, was welcomed by the British government and went with open arms and went on to rape a young woman in the process in the UK. So, talking about stating the obvious, many men with full beards have been claiming they were only 15 years of age, and so the authorities in the UK just put them in children's homes and schools without doing any reliable check on the recent arrivals claims. So, what could go wrong? Last year, it was eventually detected that 10 out of 19 arrivals, which Kent Council put in either children's homes or foster homes, were later discovered to be adults. And the checks were only done because employees of the children's home raised their concerns. This was only found out publicly because the Sun newspaper sent the council a Freedom of Information request. But of course, this has been common knowledge for a long time. But the UK government has been acting like an ostrich burying its head in the sand. So only now it has been confirmed that the British government has been trying to hide the dirt under the carpet. The politicians came out from the woodwork to get their faces in the headlines, of course. UK Shadow Home Secretary said, "We have seen absurd cases where illegal immigrants, including a balding Sudanese man with a beard, pretending to be children when they were clearly adults." He went on, "This will get worse now. The Government Border Act has passed, which no longer allows illegal immigrants to be treated as adults if they refuse to take an age assessment test." So they claim they're 12 when really they're 30.
Yeah.
And if they refuse to take the age assessment test, they will be treated as a 12-year-old. No? So I'm waiting for the time when kids' homes are overrun by 45-year-old children, and the government of the day will say, "There is nothing we can do. The law doesn't permit."
Right. Right. Okay. I'd like to say again, I'm shocked by what you just told me. I'm not.
Well,
Um,
like I said, it's common knowledge. We all know that the
yeah.
kids coming across saying that they're 12 when they're 45.
Well, yes, I know. I've seen the footage as well, and yeah, something made me suspicious, and I can't remember what it was. The guy was massive, and I think I can distinguish between what a kid is and what an adult is, which I've been able to do most of my life. Funny enough, since I was a child, but there we go. Um, Evidently, those in authority are not as intelligent as me, put it bluntly. Yeah. Um, I'm, yeah, okay. So I'm not shocked, but I'm still, um, I feel a lot of anger, to be quite honest, about it. I will admit that. Um, they, the people in authority must think we're all idiots. They're treating us like idiots. Then they're saying you can't do anything about it, even if you think we're idiots, really. Yeah. Really? Really? I've got a few ideas. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say. But it is a yeah, when you're putting our children at risk, and I know it's been touted around and everything else, and you've been called an extremist for actually wanting to protect children. Um, yeah, we have to protect children, and I don't know what it is, the mindset of these people in authority. And I don't just mean the senior politicians; they might not even know what the hell's going on. Um, I'm talking about local authority people, people who are accepting people who are the government representatives who are accepting these people and assigning them into this house. Now, with the event of, let's just say, Reform taking over Kent Council now, and it's in their jurisdiction, and probably these homes will be under their remit. I don't quite know. Seems to be a big argument of who actually has control of what in which area when it comes to these immigration centres. Yeah, these are probably not immigration centres; these are children's homes. Therefore, they'll fall under the local authority remits, I'd imagine. Um,
Well, like I said, Mark, this current government
mm,
has changed the law, the immigration law,
yeah,
saying that if somebody says they're 12 and they refuse to have an age assessment test,
right.
which is what they do with the spaces between the bones and things
Yeah,
like this
yeah, yeah,
to say
yeah.
how old they probably are.
Yes.
The government cannot treat them as an adult.
Mm, exactly. I mean, you're going to probably see some local enforcements of yeah, for this to happen or them to be separated until such a time as suspicious or
But they can't because they can't because they're being treated as an adult.
well, okay, if a child gets abused, who's liable for it then?
The abuser
Yeah.
who will be tried as a child.
Yeah, but they can't. Well, yeah, okay, but then it oversteps the mark, and surely a complete background check has to be made available then. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one would have thought.
But ultimately, yeah, we're talking hypotheticals, and we're still talking about something after somebody has been hurt or injured or scarred for life. But not that it particularly bothers the government or people in the government. It would see, or certain people in the government. Um, yeah, I'm a man of morals. I'd like to think, and yeah, protecting,
Yeah, we all are.
yeah, and protecting children, I think, is paramount importance against whomever, I may add. And when people say, "Oh, but you've got abusers in your own country, in the UK already," okay, we've got an underlying problem. Why do we want to add to it? Yeah, would be my argument. Um, yeah, that's not to me. That's sensible, logical way of thinking, and evidently, it's not a trendy way of thinking at all. It's to allow people to, well, break the law in the first place by being illegal in the country. Um, and yeah, I mean, okay, you can build up this. Now, the one thing is you can challenge any law in the country, and this might start happening with local, right-minded local authorities. But we shall have to
And
wait
the,
and
and
see.
the lawyers,
Oh, yeah.
Starmer's mates, they get fatter and fatter and fatter, making loads of money. I'm sure that Starmer and Lammy, who's another fat cat in the physical sense
Yeah.
and the
Yeah. Well,
philosophical sense.
well, yeah.
I'm sure they make these things happen so that their chums, lawyer chums, can make money.
Are you suggesting that these people are actually motivated by power and wealth? Just asking a question.
Yeah,
uh, yeah, surely, everyone starts quoting the ECHR. Surely the ECHR does actually protect children's rights as well. Just asking. Otherwise, why
yeah.
does it exist? Yeah, that would be my next question. But it, what you've just told me is so impossible. Yes, I've heard this rumbled. I'll be quite honest. Sometimes you start to read it and you go, or hear it, and you're thinking, no, this can't be so. This just defies all logic, um, all common sense. I thought the idea of law was meant to bring some logic and common sense into everyday proceedings in the world.
Well, the law, they say the law is an ass, and you
Well,
can't get a bigger ass than Starmer.
well, the trouble is, okay, we all
Oh,
say,
you can. Lammy, he's got a bigger ass.
yeah, is he standing to be the next leader at all? Or is he not? Is he
Well,
not
he's
from?
deputy, isn't he? He's
Well,
deputy.
yeah, he's deputy, but it's only if something happens to Starmer. But yeah, I imagine I don't know if let's hypothetically say change the subject. Burnham does actually win this by-election and then challenges for the leadership and gets it. Not that I think my things will be much of an improvement. I wonder if he'll keep certain individuals around him. because Burnham is a quite sensible guy, really, overall, and he doesn't want toxicity around him because he's probably going to try and hold on to power as long as possible. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting move, and whether he will tolerate all this going on or not is going to be another interesting question. Yeah, and I do hope he doesn't. I think he's a man that can probably see some sense. The trouble is, yeah, if he stands up against this now, he'll lose the support on the from the. I'm going to be honest. We normally try and be impartial. I'm finding it very difficult. The freaks on the left, we're not supporting. Yeah, so quite honestly,
Oh,
so
come on, Mark. What are you trying to say?
the Labour Party in its disarray and it's full of idiots. Not to say that the Conservative for occasions, but yes, you know exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
So,
Um,
come on, spit it out.
well, it's not about left or right. It's about sheer competence and understanding and logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of sensible people still living in the Labour movement who are having a lot of issues. I know that. And come on, guys, stand up to this. Yeah. Um, yeah. Say, yeah, you cannot
They will.
support what's going.
They will. They will stand up to this when it comes to the election time.
Yeah.